Unit 1. Unit 1 is also one of the mandatory units that candidate needs to complete in order to have a pass grading criteria, or to have what we call one equivalent GCSE in first certificate in extended applied science. The Unit 1, like I mentioned in the introduction, is a chemistry-based unit, and the focus of the Unit 1 is mainly on application of chemistry. There are 7 pass grading criteria within the Unit 1. There are 7 pass grading criteria. Candidates are expected to provide evidence for the 7 pass grading criteria. Now, what I will be explaining in detail is I'll show you an example of one of the pass grading criteria that a candidate needs to provide evidence for. The first pass grading criteria that a candidate needs to provide evidence for is they are expected to be able to identify different types of chemical substances. Be able to identify different types of chemical substances. On the board I have an assignment brief template. In the assignment brief template, the title of the assignment is Atomic Structure and Chemistry of Elements and their Compounds. Now, in order to fulfill this, to provide the evidence, candidates will be asked to will be set a task, number of tasks to do. Because what the edX require candidate to provide evidence for is ability to identify different types of chemical substances. If you look on the board, task number 1 will require candidates to list, they must be able to list the first 20 elements with the symbols, draw a table, list the names of the first 20 elements with the symbols, the number of protons, the number of electrons, and the number of neutrons. Then the second task, the part B of the task number 1, will be after drawing the table, candidate will be expected to do the electronic configuration of any 10 elements out of the 20 elements. So probably you might have to explain or describe how this is done. Then they can go on to do any 10 elements and provide the evidence. And lastly, we expect all the candidates to be able to describe what an atomic number means, what's the meaning of atomic number, mass number, and isotopes. All they have to do is to explain what it means, give an example of atomic number, mass number, and isotope. If a candidate can produce these 3 evidence, it means they have fulfilled the grading criteria for P1, which is the first pass grading criteria out of the 7 grading criteria in this Unit 1. So, in most cases, to make it much easier and accessible for your student, it's advisable that there is only one assignment per a grading criteria. And remember, I did mention earlier on that focus should be on the pass grading criteria because of the ability of the student involved. So in this unit, there are 7 pass grading criteria that your students have to provide evidence for. So it means you might have to do 7 different assignments, so that they have 7 different tasks they have to do to match with each of these grading criteria. So in the next section, but we'll be looking at the Unit 2, which is focused on physics-based units.